How are you today? Where are you checking in from, Mrs. Latasha? Welcome, welcome. I'm getting all these sources added. I feel like a DJ a little bit, going from system to system. Okay, Charlotte, you're right up the road from me. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Nidra. Long time no see. All right, I'm gonna get started here shortly. Give a couple people a few minutes. I'm in South Carolina, Columbia. I am in Columbia. How are you today, Anitra, with that beautiful baby? And Chandler Chronicles. I love it. Keep posting it. I have to go sometimes just to go see him and get a laugh. He is something else. All right, guys. I want to get in here tonight and talk a little bit. I've been missing you all. I haven't been on as much lately. Of course, we all know it's tax season, so I'm working. Okay, that's good. That's good. I've been beating the pavement. Y'all know we got all these tax law changes and these updates, and we just completed our first tax deadline for partnerships and S corps. So, of course, we were a bit burning the midnight oil last night. So, but I'm still smiling. I am still smiling. Um, Yeah, so I am super excited and glad to be able to hop on. The pollen is out. That's the other thing that's been keeping me from going live like I want to, because the pollen is bananas. Like, I'm in the house and it comes through the vents. So it takes me out every single time. And but yeah, we got this PPP stuff still going on, and changes that, oh gosh, y'all, the government is like throwing snowballing us, like really, really throwing a whole lot of things at us at one time with all these changes. And but for those who don't know me, that's checking in, I am Tawanna with Bryant Business Solutions. I am a full service, 100% virtual tax and accounting firm, soon to be adding credit and business funding. Haha. I'll be adding that hopefully by the end of this month. We'll be getting that added, capital funding for those people who are looking to start a business. What I want to do is have you positioned to be able to use other people's money to get your businesses started. I mean, now is the prime opportunity. We're getting stimulus payments. Now, don't mistake it for me telling you what to do with your money. I'm not. However, the tax system doesn't play fair. It does not favor someone who solely has W-2 income. It really does favor the entrepreneur. So I encourage everyone to, just get your business started. I'm sure there's something that you're passionate about that you would love to do and make money for it. And this is my passion. I know you all hear me saying all the time, I have free 15-minute strategy sessions. Anybody that's been on one of my strategy sessions will tell you they're more discovery calls just for me to get to know you. You get to know me. We decide if we're a good fit. And we make a decision whether to move forward from there. Well, I go all in. I get involved. I am up in your business, and I love it. I love to help bring out people's passions of what they can do to earn money, and also ways for them to mitigate their tax liability as a result of that, of starting that business, or even if you're already in business and you've made a few mistakes. You may have gotten some bad advice. You've had some hiccups along the way. My goal is always to help you get on track. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I don't profess to be perfect. However, I do my due diligence to ensure that I'm helping you get on the right track, as far as your business is concerned, in ensuring that you're confident and you feel educated and you feel empowered to make viable business decisions in your business. So I am happy to be back on Tax Talk Tuesday. Y'all, I got to figure this thing out though. I just really got to figure out like how I want to, I don't know. I don't know if I need to just go to YouTube and then pull it over. So give me some feedback, y'all, of whether you like this platform, you don't like this platform, the way that I present it, any suggestions, any ideas of things that you want to discuss. Um, I've had a few thrown out there, but if it's something that you want to know about and I can help, be it that I have to do a little research for it, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to discuss it here on Tax Talk Tuesday. But this week, what I want to talk about, like I said, is the stimulus bill and these new changes that are happening. Now, we know that a lot of people lost their jobs or had to reduce their income was reduced as a result of COVID last year. So what has happened was a lot of people had to apply for unemployment benefits. And in most states, well, nationwide, it's tax deduct, like you have to pay taxes on that money. And a lot of people were not prepared to pay taxes on that money. So with the new bill that Biden and Harris, that they signed into law on last Thursday, actually, not Saturday, last Thursday, if you got unemployment benefits in 2020 and your modified adjusted gross income was less than $150,000, you don't have to pay taxes on the first $10,200 in unemployment compensation. So what does that mean for the people who have filed taxes already? And I've already filed some taxes for some people who did have unemployment on there. Well, the IRS's guidance is saying do not file an amendment at this point. They're not prepared to handle it. Please do not file an amendment. Don't rush out to go do that. They're working on ways and working with software companies to find out the best way for people to mitigate these losses. So right now, do not fill out for an amendment. You just kind of hold off if you've already filed. And then for those people who still need to file, there's worksheets in place for the preparers to follow the guidelines to calculate what portion, if you received a course more than the $10,200. Now, the provision, is in place, and it helps also married couples. So if there's a married couple that both were unemployed, it's the first $10,200 of each one of their unemployment payments. So that kind of benefits if it's a, two-family household that both had lost income as a result of that. So that's one good thing that's in place, and I'm excited to be able to share that. We knew that was kind of coming down the pipeline, but wasn't sure of exactly how to handle it. I know one of my business partners, she was saying that she had gone ahead because someone needed to file and she knew it was coming, and she actually went in and adjusted it down. So again, we're just waiting on further guidance from that. The other thing that's tucked inside this new American Rescue Act that was signed on Thursday was there's big implications for those people who are in the gig economy. There's big tax implications for you guys. So starting for the year 2022, like if you drive Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, Grubhub, you're doing any of those gigs that's out there. Remember, before you would only get a 1099-K that you can log into your portal and you can pull down your tax information, and it's a 1099-K. Well, the 1099-K didn't really report the income like that because the reporting threshold for 1099-Ks was $20,000 and 200 transactions. And now it's actually been brought down to $600, and it eliminates the transaction minimum. So they are now putting it in place where you will then be issued the new 1099 NEC, non-employment compensation. So that is going to be in place. So make sure that make sure that you are paying attention to that and when that change happens, because you don't want to get caught up and didn't realize that, oh, I have another form that I need to actually file these taxes. And you should be reporting your income. And also, I had a Grubhub worker as well whose taxes I did. They didn't realize in those industries you have to keep up with your mileage. I've said it before. um, Stride Tax, I get no kickbacks from them. I've tried to become an affiliate, and their system is a little different. I just didn't feel like going through it. But to benefit you all, Stride, Stride Tax, it's an app and it's free. You can take pictures of your receipts, and even if you're not driving in the gig economy, it's a good way to track your expenses. It's a good way to track, keep up with your income. You could put in what industry you're in, and it gives you little helpful tips along the way. So that is a good tracking app. The best app, though, if you're saying, well, Tawanna, I've been using this or using this, the best one is the one that you're going to use. If you're not going to use it, it benefits you not at all. However, that's the only way to keep up truly with your mileage and your expenses along the way. And I have turned people away or given them their tax information back when they come to me and say, oh, my gas, I spent $500 in gas. There's no way you really spent $500 in gas. And if you did, I want to see the proof so that I can have the documentation to justify why I put this on your return. That is a red flag for audits, when you have those nice, beautiful round numbers because you're guesstimating along the way. What you want to do, and remember, I told you a few months back that audits are going to be on the rise. Go figure, because they're giving out all this money. Audits are going to be on the rise. So you want to have your ducks in a row. You want your checks and balances to be in place. You want your documentation. What happens if you were above the income threshold for 2019, but under the threshold for 2020, but haven't filed yet? Will you still receive the stimulus when you file for 2020? So in that situation, there are cases where you're able to claim the recovery rebate credit on your actual tax return. I had someone who technically did not qualify because he was on his mother's tax return 2018, 2019. Well, he technically didn't qualify because he was over 17 as being claimed as a dependent on his mother's return. Well, they gave him that credit back in his taxes. So he's gotten a refund for that. And he's was scheduled to get the $1,400 because he claimed himself this year. However, it also appears that they're using the 2018 and 2019 taxes to calculate that as well, which is, I'm sure they're going to be double paying some people because his mom actually got his stimulus for that. So we're really going to have to really pay attention to what's happening and how much money we're receiving. If there is an overpayment and it is the IRS's fault or Treasury's fault or whomever's fault, not your fault, but if it is, and you have an idea, seek your tax professional and ask for guidance. I'm going to say hold on to that money. They're going to ask for their money back. They're going to want it back. Just like when the deceased people who had passed was receiving that first stimulus, they said that they needed to pay that money back. Now, what measures they're going to go through to get it back, I don't know as of yet, but they will want that money back if you're double paid. And there were some cases in some situations where people were being double paid in other areas. People getting 2 PPP loans and things of that nature. So just keep an eye out. If you have a trusted tax professional that you use, ask them for guidance to make sure that there's funds that you need to give back. And I did, like I said, I have someone who she's in that situation right now. So we are putting the $1,400 aside to see if her son actually gets the money or if they just kind of bypass him and then we know that belongs to him. Now, back to the gig economy workers. For you guys, there's there's some states actually. So when you're doing your taxes, and this is why, because everything that's happening and there's so many changes, this is why I did not encourage anyone to do their own taxes this year. Like TurboTax is not going to give you all this guidance. They're not going to tell you all this stuff. They're not going to go in and say, oh, this tax law happened. We're sitting in webinars. We're sitting on trainings. We're doing a lot of reading to stay abreast of these situations that's happening. And if you're, say, a firefighter, your job is to fight fires. Let somebody else worry about that for you and take care of that for you. But there's a total of 12 states plus DC that's now created their own 1099K for gig workers. So make sure if you're in any of those states, some states like Florida, Kansas, Oregon, Tennessee, they just match whatever the federal threshold is. But there are others who have thresholds as low as $600. Arkansas, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri, New Jersey, Vermont, and Virginia. Everybody, y'all keep your eyes open, wide open. Consult with someone who knows this information. And if they don't know the information off the top of their heads, they know how to get the information quickly for you. I don't rely on, let me say this kindly, social media experts, so to speak. There's a lot coming out of the woodworks that I'm seeing, and I'm seeing a lot of misinformation being given to people, saying that you don't have to, oh, you can earn this, but you don't have to pay taxes. No, if you start a side hustle and you have a W-2 job, and you're still over that threshold, that minimum required threshold to file taxes, period, you are required to report that income, or now you are in tax evasion, which is illegal. Okay? Don't let nobody tell you that, oh, well, you can earn up to XYZ amount of money and it's tax free. Yeah, that applies if that's all you're doing. And in some cases, you need to be reporting that money. So don't ever, it's not a one size fits all situation. And don't let anyone tell you that. If it sounds too good to be true, typically it is. Ask for guidance or someone that can assist and help you navigate through that process. I don't want to see anyone out there getting in trouble simply because, and I've seen where people get in trouble where they thought they were getting sound advice and it really wasn't. I've helped some people get out of some of those situations, and it's ugly at first, trying to come out of it, and it's stressful. For one, you don't want to go through that undue stress. Again, I am not perfect. I by no means say that everything I say and do is perfect. However, I do my best to either consult with additional professionals that's in my network. I have resources that I tap into to get information. I am an IRS.gov guru. And I continue to stay abreast of the trainings that's out here that's from legitimate, reputable sources. Now, California is, if you're in California, and I know I have some clients out there as well, they're also in the process of creating their own 1099K forms for gig economy workers. So yeah, that's going to be a little challenging as we go into this tax season, and I'm sure the next few are going to be bananas. Hey Ty, hey Patricia. But yeah, I know it's gonna get crazy. Ty, it's about that time. Time is winding down. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure that you knew that. The other thing that I wanted to tap into, I don't know if anybody has seen on social media, but there was a young lady, and it kind of touched me, more than kind of touched me. There's a little girl that just recently passed named Lyric Chanel. She was on IG, and the sweetest little girl. I had the opportunity though of, we didn't know at the time, my daughter and I went to, it's called Healing Springs here in South Carolina, and we got water and ran into this gentleman and this young lady, and they were saying, there was a little girl in Atlanta that they drove 3 hours to come get some water for the little girl. And we had been going there for years since my daughter's grandmother was sick with Lou Gehrig's disease. And so we had been going there since the 90s. And okay, we need to talk. But we have been going there since the 90s, and it's a place where it's just so peaceful. We started going back again when my aunt was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago, and they talked about it. And so my daughter had been following this little girl for some time, watching her dance and do little dance moves and calling people out. And she was dealing with a certain type of, I guess, brain cancer or tumor on her brain. And so the gentleman that was getting the water, I was just like, oh gosh, they're just so calm and so peaceful. Like the whole environment is serene. And the next day, my daughter calls me and she's like, Ma, the guy we saw, he's there. He's there with her. Well, that was who they were getting the water for, ironically. And she passed just a few days later. Sweetest little girl. Come to find out, that was Dr. Sebi. If anyone's familiar with Dr. Sebi, that was his son that was at the water hole and getting water for her. And but I say all that to say, so there was GoFundMe pages, of course, or donations being made to this young lady and her family. And as with anyone, like you see people who end up in fires or tragic situations, or people needing to raise money on GoFundMe, or crowdfunding is what it's called. It's crowdfunding sources, and it's considered gifts. Okay, so when you raise money through internet crowdfunding, it prompts questions on the taxability of this money that's raised. And there's many sites out there. It's not just limited to GoFundMe. It's Kickstarter, Indiegogo. It's a couple of other ones out there where they raise money and people withdraw this money on someone's behalf. Well, the contributor, the person who's raising this money, if it is not the person who it's anticipated to benefit, this money is taxable income to them if it's not set up properly. If the contributor receives that money and they get more than $15,000 of a particular fundraising effort, then, and that benefit goes to that one individual, the contributor is then liable to file a gift tax return, regardless of the need. Okay. Gifts to individuals typically are never tax deductible. But if you're raising that money on behalf of someone else, you get this money, it's in excess of $15,000, you're responsible for taxes. Okay. And I like to make sure people are aware of things as it's happening, because there's a lot of things that we do from our hearts for people. And a lot of times we give donations and we don't think about it when we're giving it. And we don't even think about it on behalf of the other person, of whether it's going to now become a gift or not. And you want to be careful. Anything dealing with finances. I have a client that I literally told her, if it involves your finances, do not make a decision. Call me first. Call me first. Don't touch anything else, because, something was done. A withdrawal that actually could have, it shifted how she had to pay taxes. And had she contacted me ahead of time, I would have been able to say, hey, hold off a few weeks on this if you can, and then go hit the button and go. But because of, when she took the funding, now she's responsible for taxes on that portion of the money. So you just want to be careful in how you're collecting charitable gifts or contributions or crowdfunding that's done on the internet. If there's contributions less than $250, you can claim charitable donations, of course, on your taxes. Right now, with the tax bill that was signed in December, $300 above the line deduction. And what that means is, before they see what your taxable income is, that $300 comes off. So a lot of people lost when the standard deduction increased so much. A lot of people lost the opportunity to be able to itemize their taxes. So now, if you don't meet that threshold and you gave a donation, it's not an either or situation. You are able to claim that now up to $300 on your taxes. So just wanted to put those little bugs in your ear for today. You like to share? Oh yeah, absolutely, Patricia. By all means, if y'all want to share, I don't usually get on and say share, but of course, like, share, Someone can use this information. Even if you're on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you checked in and you saw this live and you're still enjoying the Tax Talks Tuesdays. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know about you guys. I missed y'all. I enjoy getting on here because any of my clients will tell you I love the education piece. I love educating. And I'm working on now behind the scenes a way to free myself up more, that I can hit more platforms, that I can get out there and get more information to more people and impact more lives, so that we don't end up in situations that could, in some cases, be prevented. Again, I'm always a person that is very, I look from a standpoint of, we don't know, we just don't know what we don't know. You know, we just don't know what we don't know. Hey, Sharon, we don't know what we don't know. And or even if we consult with somebody and they give us misinformation, and then the IRS sends us this tax bill to say, hey, you owe X, Y, and Z, and you're like, but I got counsel, I sought counsel. Y'all remember I said, just because letters are behind someone's name, it does not mean that they're the counsel for you. They may not be educated in that arena. They may not be seeking education in that arena. Because I'm not saying that every client that I get, I'm down to the letter on their, no, but I do my due diligence. I dig, I research. I don't just go assuming things, especially like with my consultations. When I do a consultation call, I have the information sent over, so I know what research needs to be done before I get on that strategy, on that consultation call, so that I'm providing you with the most accurate and most up-to-date information, as well as the fact that the tax laws change so often. And right now, with all of these changes, thank you, Patricia. You're making a girl feel cute. But with all of these changes, like it's a lot for anybody to keep up with. And I know, like, my number one cleaning lady here, Ty Smith, I have two janitorial business owners that are phenomenal. I want them to be able to focus on that. You know, yes, know your business, know what's going on, know what affects your business, but I don't want that to ever be a stressor. I don't want it to ever be a time that she has to be stressed out by this and not be able to say, reach out to me and say, hey, Tawanna, you know, I saw this. What's up with that? And if I don't know, they'll tell you. I'll dig, find the information, and I will get back to you to find the information. But I just want to make sure that as a whole, as a society, we're educated and we're operating with wisdom and not just jumping the gun or jumping into something because it looks good or it appears to be quick money or something quick that we can get. The other thing outside of crowdfunding that I just thought about, so y'all know those, I guess it's called like a flower or a thing, and you put your name in the middle, and then there's people outside, and everybody puts their money, and whoever's in the middle gets all the money out of the pot. That is considered to some degree, not necessarily illegal, but it's frowned upon. But you're responsible for taxes on that money when you get it. It's a gift. It's a gift. So again, if it sounds too good to be true, typically it may not be too good to be true, but there may be more to it than what's on the surface. And you don't want to get caught in a situation. There's something right now that my accountability partner shot over to me today that I was like, oh, this is a bomb strategy. And I'm about to start looking into this. And she sent me something. And I was like, man, we can't do nothing. But, you know, it's good to know before you get caught in a situation and then you're being taxed on these funds. You know, you getting these hundreds of thousands of dollars and these points and these rewards and these things, and now they're coming back and saying, oh, nope, too many people are benefiting from it, so we're gonna tax it. And the government has the right to do that. So the other thing that I wanted to say too before I hopped off, because I'm gonna be wrapping up now, but the other thing, keep in mind, just as sure you're promoting your businesses on social media, you're promoting out there in the world to get clients, to get customers, to get sales, just as sure as I can see you, the IRS can see you, these government agencies can see you. They know whether you have a business. They know whether it's a viable business. They know whether you're making up a 1099 or a W-2. They know that you're applying for unemployment, but you're out here saying you making six figures. Know they're behind the scenes watching. There's a lot of people getting locked up right now. I'm too cute to go to jail. So even if you come to me and you need some funny numbers, I'm not your girl because I can't do jail. I'm just a little too cute. So I'm not even going to say find somebody else. I'm going to say operate in good judgment and sound judgment. Do the right thing always. It always comes back to a worse situation. You lose so much more if you don't operate in honesty and in integrity. So I am going to wrap up. Does anyone have any additional questions though before I do? I don't want to hop off and someone has a question. And if you're too shy to post your question here, it's perfectly okay. Hit me in my DM. You also, thanks. You also can hop on. I have my link here for my tax on board. If you know that you're ready to get started with your taxes and you're ready to get onboarded, then go ahead and hit that link. Now that link is not for, and I'm going to say this, it's mainly for my clients that I've had, and you know kind of my process. I'm going to recommend for new clients that you set up a strategy call, and you can do that at www.bbs3llc.info. That link has at the top says set appointment, and you click on that and it'll take you to my calendar for appointments so that I can discuss your tax situation with you to make sure you're doing your what you're looking for or what you're trying to do, works. Also, so you can understand my pricing. It's a little different. I don't nickel and dime for every single form. However, I do not charge a flat rate, and it's dependent upon how complex your tax situation is. A lot of businesses are forming right now. Be sure that you're doing that. Get a consult with someone. I know I have it's about 300, 400 people that's in my network of accountants and tax professionals right now that we're in a group. We're on coaching calls every week. We are working diligently to stay abreast of this information. There's a lot of people offering that are good, reputable people, and even some that I've come to know outside of that group just from networking. There's a lot of good, reputable people out there, including myself, that would love to do a consult with you. So you have direction. The other thing I'm going to say is I also recommend when you're starting a business, not just an accountant, I recommend an attorney. We're going to look at it from two different viewpoints. They're going to look to protect you legally. We're going to look from the point of minimizing your tax situation. And also, when I help someone start a business, I look to get them structured so that they're able to obtain business credit as well without having to go back and redo things. So by all means, like I said, seek counsel. Make sure you're getting wise counsel to get assisted in starting your businesses or going to that next level. I want to see everyone elevate. I want to see everyone grow in whatever God has called them to do. And if I can help you in that, I am here. Again, www.bbs3llc.info. And that will get you set up with an appointment for me for various different things. It just depends on where you're at in your business. But I always say book a free 15-minute strategy session, which is a discovery call, so that we can know exactly what your needs are instead of booking something else and not really knowing what you may need. All right. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. It's raining here in South Carolina. I'm glad though, because it washed away some of this pollen. I didn't wake up with the bridge of my nose acting crazy. So you all have a wonderful day. Until next Tuesday, have some friends join us as I tap in to give you some more information on Tax Talk Tuesday. Remember, DM me if you have a topic or something you want me to discuss. DM me, and I'll be glad to discuss that at our next session. All right, you guys have a great evening.